Hi, today I'm going to talk to you about 5 questions you should ask any medical provider when faced with a very serious health condition. Hi, my name's Maureen. Thank you for joining me. For the past 2 months, I've been going through lots of blood tests, CAT scans, MRI. I've been going through a battery of tests. And tomorrow, definitively, I'm going to know what my situation is. I have been a cancer survivor. I've been an autoimmune survivor, and now I'm faced with being out of remission again. And I'm not sure if it's severe hemolytic anemia or leukemia. They both look very familiar and they mimic each other. So let me tell you a little bit about it. Being in remission means that I have not had fatigue. I have not had yellowing of my skin or my eyes. I have not been faced with such exhaustion that I can't hardly get out of bed. Recently, though, the case has been the opposite. I have been exhausted. I had to stop aggressively working out about 2 months ago. I am exhausted, just exhausted. And I am having to make some decisions. Right now, what's happening is my bone marrow is producing way too many red blood cells. The problem is the red blood cells that are being produced are all dying. Most people's red blood cells last about 120 days. My red blood cells last approximately 8 hours, and then they die. And once they die, here's a healthy blood red cell. When they die, here's another red blood cell. When they die, what they do is they glob on to the healthy ones. Think about a lollipop let's go with a lollipop, and you roll it in glue. Then you're going to take it and you're going to put it in some glitter, and you can see you got a lollipop that's full of glitter on it with one lollipop that you need to get to. So my lollipop is my red blood cell, but it's hard to get to because it's full of this glitter. Well, I need the red blood cells because that's what carries and delivers the oxygen throughout the body. The problem is I've got way too many dead red blood cells. So oxygen is having a hard time getting delivered to my brain, to my heart, to my organs. If this is not addressed or taken care of, I can go into cardiac arrest. All of my organs can go into failure, and I can just end up staying in bed. Well, I'm going to choose life, and choosing life means I'm having to make some very difficult, challenging decisions. In the past, so when you have hemolytic anemia, there are different protocols that you can use to try to help heal your body. The first thing they do is give you steroids. Well, there's 150 side effects of steroid use. 10 of them are permanent. I don't want to, and I'm not willing to take that challenge or that answer because it's too damaging and detrimental and cannot be reversed. And I've done it before, and it doesn't work. The second thing you do for hemolytic anemia is they remove your spleen. Well, they went in and they were going to biopsy my spleen. Well, they ended up removing my spleen. Your spleen is a filter system for your blood, and it helps remove toxins. It helps make all your red blood cells and white blood cells healthy. I, unfortunately, do not have a spleen. They went in to take a biopsy of a 3-ounce spleen and realized it weighed 8 pounds. So it looks like I've had open heart surgery because they had to remove an 8-pound spleen. The third treatment is a chemotherapy type immunotherapy called Retux. Well, I've gone that route before also. The problem is I'm allergic to it, and so I go into anaphylaxis where my throat shuts down. So I'm really not a candidate for any of these things. So again, I'm trying to find a more natural route to help heal my body. Our body was created to heal itself, and so I'm going to do everything I can to support my liver, to support my gut, to support my red blood cells. And through this, I've been interviewing lots of doctors, I've been doing lots of research, and I've narrowed it down, I believe, to 2 facilities. However, tomorrow I go to my main doctor to discuss this. Thankfully, she's open to alternative treatments, especially since the other 3 traditional treatments have never worked for me. Signs of severe hemolytic anemia and leukemia, again, they all look the same. It's extreme fatigue, it's dizziness, it's feeling lethargic, brain fog, as if age isn't enough of a brain fog. Here, add something else because you're not getting enough red blood cells to your brain. The other one is you have an elevated bilirubin number. When your elevation of your bilirubin, like your eyes, around your eyes are yellow, or your skin, you look a little bit jaundiced. A lot of babies go through this. For me, that's doable. One of the other things is your urine is very dark and almost looks like there might be a little bit of blood in it. So that was another indication. I already knew it. I mean, I knew I was tired, and these are just things that have added up. Another one is when you go and get your blood work done, there's a number called a reticulite. Everybody's reticulite, a normal reticulite would be about 0.5 to maybe 1. Well, mine is closer to a 9, and that's not good. Reticulating means how fast your red blood cells are popping out of your bone marrow. So that's my situation. So I'm kind of faced with a pretty serious condition at the moment. Your hemoglobin is low, and that again causes exhaustion. Everybody's hemoglobin should be between 12 and 15. Again, everybody's normals are different. My new normal was probably 10 and a half. Well, I've been hovering, I don't know, around 6 to 7. If your number is between 6 and 7, you're not even a candidate for physical therapy, let's say if you're in the hospital. The other thing is they want to give you a blood transfusion. Well, I'm also not a candidate, or I won't take blood, because if my blood is not good enough and I'm processing it, the blood that I would receive would only last or make me feel better for 4 to 6 hours. There's somebody in a life or death situation who could really use their red blood cells in their body. I know that mine is not going to last. It's just contributing to the problem. So that's the situation. So anyhow, in choosing a doctor or a facility, here are the 5 questions you should ask when you're looking for a different alternative provider to help you. The first one is what do you think, or what does the doctor think is causing my body? What is the root cause for my immune system to keep responding the way it is? Is there a cause? Is it environment? Is it toxins? Is it food? This is going to tell you how much your provider or your doctor will know, could they get to the root problem? The second one is, also your gut health. Your gut is your second brain. Actually, I think it's your primary brain. Your health resides in your microbiome. So making sure your microbiome is strong, good, and healthy, and has lots of good strands of probiotics is very important for our gut health and our mind health. The second question is what is your success rate? If somebody's never heard of like a hemolytic anemia or has ever treated a leukemia, you want to know what their success rate is. We're all human, as is a doctor, so nobody can guarantee it. But I want to know statistics, because there's a big difference between my success rate is 6 out of 10 patients or 8 out of 10 patients. I want the higher odds if I can do it. The third question is, will you work with my current provider? Will you work together as a team? I want to make sure that if I choose another doctor and my care treatment, that they will work with my existing providers, because I trust them. I trust my team. I trust my naturopaths. I trust my doctors. So I want to make sure that if I go to a different doctor or a different facility for treatment, that they will work with my doctors who I have been in their care for 20 years. The fourth question is, how available are you? A lot of doctors, it's easy to get the business. Let's just call it sales. It's easy to get the business, but to keep the business is something completely different. So I want to make sure that the doctor is available should I have a fever, should I have something to seemingly appear as an infection. I want to know that they're going to pick up the phone, or a nurse is going to pick up within so many hours to call me back. Again, what I'm facing right now is kind of an important thing, kind of life or death. So I want to make sure that they're available. And the fifth one is, how long do you think healing will take? I'm looking at 2 facilities. I'm looking at 2 different doctors, and I want to know how long they think it's going to take for my body to heal. So they look very different, and because they look very different, I need to understand both protocols for my healing journey. So I need to make the best decisions I can make for myself. Tomorrow I see my primary doctor, my oncologist, and she's going to be open, and she's going to look at my numbers, and she's going to say, Maureen, I'm very familiar with this, and I think that this is the way you should go, because she knows that the other 3 options, the steroids, the chemotherapy, and a splenectomy, are not an option. So she's going to know, and she's going to say, gosh, this looks a whole lot better to me. The downside is one of them is out of the country. And right now, with the way things are, getting on a plane might be a little scary to go out of the country. So it may be just one treatment that I'm looking at. So if you would keep me in your prayers, I'd appreciate it. Irregardless, my body was designed to heal itself. I know that I'm going to be okay. I know I'm not finished doing what I need to do. And I appreciate each of you listening to me and listening to my story. If you've ever been faced with a health crisis, how did you handle it? What was the one main question that you asked your doctor, or you thought of that I may not have thought of, that I can ask my doctor? I'll keep you posted. I thank you for taking your time, and make sure you go out today and you make memory.